We just left an incredible stay in Orange Beach, Alabama, and had the most hectic travel days we've ever had all the way to Hershey, Pennsylvania. We loved Alabama and totally would have stayed longer if we could, but we had to head up to the RV show in Pennsylvania. Of course, our first stop was Buc-ee's, and this was actually our first time meeting him in person, so we were super excited about that. We filled up our gas tanks, got some food and drinks, and we were ready to hit the road. We got a really late start this travel day, so it was 10 o'clock and we were still 15 minutes away from the campground. This is one of the main reasons we don't like driving late on travel days. As you can see, the gates were locked. We actually didn't know this campground closed at 10, but they did. I'm so grateful that I called and they let us in, but then this happened. We did not have a 30 amp plug.
So look what we found.
Let me see. We just walked around and someone had one for us. Say woo!
Woo!
The view here was absolutely insane. This campground was amazing. So our first night overnight was in Georgia, and this is for all of you people who asked if we actually go camping. Because we arrived late and knew we were leaving early in the morning, we didn't even open our slides or detach from the truck. We got a very early start on travel day number 2 because we did not want that to happen again. We stopped for gas and snacks and hit the road. We drove 5 hours this day. Here we are crossing into South Carolina, and we eventually stopped in North Carolina overnight. As you can see, when we got here this day, it was still bright out, so we actually did detach from the truck and headed to the pool for a little bit before we went to bed. Now we're on travel day number 3, and you would think because we learned our lesson the first night that we wouldn't make the same mistake, but you're wrong. Here we are crossing into Virginia. Everything is going as planned. It's beautiful. We're loving it. We have a 7-hour drive this day. And then we drive through West Virginia and then Maryland. And as you can see, it is still bright outside. Everything is going as planned. We thought we were ahead of time. So we get to Pennsylvania, we stop and have dinner. And by the time we arrive, it is suddenly dark and we're locked out of the campground. This sign literally says pull over on the side of the road when you get here because we're not letting you in. What the heck? How did that happen so fast? I literally have no clue how that happened, but here we are locked out again and they're not answering. So we turned our generator on, which we actually had never used our generator before. We turned it on and saw that it ran and worked, but we had never actually used it. So when we tried to use it, it wasn't turning anything in the RV on, but thankfully I have so many RV friends and they helped us get it running and working. And here we are watching TV with the air on. Everything was great, loving life until a spider fell off of the roof onto us in the bed. Thankfully, we found it. Oh my goodness, I was about to burn the RV down. This is what our site looked like overnight. It's kind of comical to me because we've never had to do something like that. But don't worry, we did eventually get set up at our site.